because I used to live in Brooklyn and this like apartment, like $300 a month apartment in my early 20s.
Whoa.
And like I've never like even dreamed of living in Manhattan, right? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
there's no way I can ever afford. I think so many people are so tied to that, oh, this is who I am. Like, oh, I'm just, what I hear is a lot of introverts say, because I thought I could never do sales, like ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people hide behind that, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm not a people person, I can't do sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they almost like block themselves from that change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like, there's nothing sadder in my opinion, there's nothing sadder in life than that.
Yeah. That is, it's so like, I know that's probably a different topic, but like yesterday, Michael and I had this epiphany where we live in Nashville. We want to stay in Nashville, but we had this like breakthrough that maybe we need to move to the suburbs because we want a house with a yard. Like our life has changed, right? Mm-hmm. But he and I both were sitting there. I sent him a house that was south of Nashville, mm-hmm. like 30 minutes south of Nashville. And he was like, would you actually want to move there? And I was like, mm-hmm. I think so, because our life has changed so much and the needs of our life has changed so much. And he was like, yeah, I think I would too, but in my mind, he was just talking about like, in my mind, that wasn't possible because we've built
like
this
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But even now, I think we falsely believed that there were these barriers.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
So when you said the part about like you hinder yourself, like we were unintentionally blocking ourselves from making a decision that would ultimately make us happier as people on this earth.
Like not even open to the possibility that it's possible.
And we didn't even know that, we didn't see it. We couldn't spot it because we were so entrenched.
That's so funny, huh?
Yeah. Like
but it's so funny how once you break through that first barrier though, like you can't see it any other way.
Yeah. That's what happened. It's like we were driving and he was like, we had this like breakthrough like the previous night, like in a text exchange, because we were just like, wait a second. This is actually an option that we never thought was possible because of these unintentional subconscious barriers of what life was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's actually how you grow, I think. Because I can date way back to because I used to live in Brooklyn and this like apartment, like $300 a month apartment in my early 20s.
Whoa.
And like I've never like even dreamed of living in Manhattan, right? I was like, oh, there's no way I can ever afford. But then once I had the shift and I'm like, all right, I'm going to move to Manhattan. And from that point on, you're going to find ways to make that happen. Yes. You know what I mean? And once you're open to the possibility that that's even possible, that's how you grow.
Yeah. And it's crazy though, how it happened. Like, I know we've all had those moments like where it's just like these like you have these like these huge breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
and it happens very quickly too.
Yeah. Yes. But for us, it was like he and I both who grow pretty right. Like we're open to things, like think that I
think it takes a long time to get to the epiphany, but once the epiphany happens, it's like, boom.
Yeah. It's almost like like when I think about it, it was like, there was a lot of pain along the, there was pain that we didn't really realize, like the pain of in this specific example, the pain of like our daughter living in a house without a yard and having to go to parks all the time. And then like, just all these like little things of pain.
That's how chronic pain actually develops. Like most people that have chronic pain, they've learned to live with it for so long that they don't even know what it feels like to not have that chronic pain.
Dude, that is like the perfect analogy or metaphor. I don't know, analogy, metaphor, whatever. Like, I always get those confused. But yeah, like you're living with it for so long
Uh-huh.
that then when you see that there's like a medication or like something relatively small that you're actually in control of this,
Possible, yeah.
you're like, whoa.
It's like,
So
whoa.
well, that was like a light bulb for us, like in the last 48 hours. We just
So are you guys moving?
not yet, but we're
You're gonna start planning.
we're planning, like we're exploring it. And when I told my mom, I was like, hey, we're gonna go look at some houses on Saturday. She was like, this is
That
pretty
happened
typical. Well, she's like, this is pretty typical. You're gonna have a baby, sell a house, buy a house, and move all at the same time. She was like, sounds about right. You guys can't just like
I'm so like that too. But I think because Gigi hasn't been like my wife Gigi. She's not like that at all. She is the type of person that has to plan it for a long time before we do it. But she's almost changed now, and like this is from her telling me that. But I've been like that my whole life. I make a decision. I'm like, okay, let's go and let's do it, right? And I would not have been able to get to where I am if I didn't have that personality. And now Gigi's totally on board. Like before, she would be like, "Are you sure we can do that? Do you think we can afford that office? Do you think like?" But now she's like, "Okay, let's do it." Boom, like, and that's how you move up in your life. That's how you make changes in your life.
Yeah, you have to be willing to take the risk. And life is life is just like a bunch of, and I've taken this from Michael, like life is just a bunch of calculated risks.